I could bore you with telling you how the writings of St. John of the Cross helped me through years just after my conversion at the university in a completely atheist environment. But there's a more impressive witness that I would like to cite. I was a prison chaplain for 7 years in Eastern Europe, in the former Soviet Union, for 7 years. So she goes back, and the next day I see this guy coming into my monastery, and I see he has a sense of humor. Now, that is a really good first step, you know. When you meet somebody who is in trouble, but he has kept his sense of humor, that's like winning the first round without fighting. So, well, I had to bluff my way through this. So I tell him, you know, I had only one book in Lithuanian at the time. The Dark Night of the Soul by St. John of the Cross. So I bluffed my way through this, and I told him, you know, I have only one book. I haven't read it, but maybe you can read it for me and see if it's interesting. You tell me whether you like it, you know. So I give him this book, The Dark Night of the Soul, you know, one of the standard works of mystical theology that we have in church. And you say, when you're finished, you come and see me. So he comes back and says, who is this guy? Who wrote this book? I said, well, it's somebody who was a priest and who liked writing about Jesus. Yeah, but I must meet him. I want to meet this guy. It's fantastic. Well, I'm saying, it's a bit of a problem. He's from Spain. He says, well, I've traveled until Vladivostok without paying a train ticket, so I'll get there. Well, I said, there's another problem. He's no longer in Spain. He's died a few centuries ago, and, you know, I don't have his address in heaven, so. But it's so amazing that this guy who you're the least to expect him to like St. John of the Cross. He tells me, you know, this man, St. John of the Cross, knows what we are going through. He knows what is darkness. He knows what it is to be imprisoned. He knows he has experienced feelings of complete meaninglessness and nothingness. Why don't the normal parish priests preach like this? You know, we wouldn't get bored with all their stories about love and peace. And, you know, I mean, I figured out, he said, that finding God must be warfare. And it's quite true. Why does St. John of the Cross appeal to a prisoner who, besides his sense of humor, has nothing left, not even his health? It's because in our soul there is this deep thirst. We would all like to command our soul, like the Psalms do, you know, my soul, the Lord. Our soul would like to go beyond this life and command to everything alive in us, die because of love. Give yourself so completely that there's only God left. Which is actually what God, become man, did himself. He gave himself beyond anything else possible. And that's exactly what is the deepest thirst in our soul. It's nice to do theology and understand things, you know. It's my hobby. I'm not a professor. I have no PhD in theology. Only in some technical profession I can search oil. And I did search oil, but I found the Lord, as they say in good English.